Heavy breathing, a rushed whisper. Some secrets don't stay buried. Some debts aren't paid in money. I learned that the day I took a job painting the shattered ruins of a saint's tomb, what we call a darih, in the middle of an unforgiving wasteland. My name is Imad. I'm 28. I'm a house painter. And this is the story that almost broke my mind. Pause. It all started with a simple phone call. My boss, Ibrahim, a good man, called me early. Imad, you working? He asked. Get your tools. A bricolage, a quick job. Just a few hours. One of my old clients, Hajj al-Arabi. A noble man. Generous. So, at dawn, we drove out. Far away from the city, away from everything, until the world was just empty earth and a burning sky. We reached a solitary farmhouse. It was the only structure for miles, except for one thing, a crumbling, peeling darih sitting on a hilltop like a broken tooth. The Hajj welcomed us like a king. He wore a traditional grey jalaba, his beard was dignified, and his eyes held the deep calm of the desert. He fed us rafisa, a dish so rich it could make a dead man sigh, drenched in olive oil and sman. Eat, he commanded. Blessings on the hands that work. Pause. The job was fast. We painted the new shed in hours. By afternoon, we were done. The Hajj refused to let us leave empty-handed, but then he pulled me aside. His voice dropped. Imad, my son, there's leftover paint. It's a sin to waste it. He pointed a crooked finger toward the hill. You see that darih, the tomb of the saint? It is peeling. It is forgotten. Go paint it. It is a holy act, a barakah. God will see your work. Ibrahim, his car already packed, winked at me. Stay. Harden your heart and do the work. The Hajj will drive you home. I was trapped in a web of Moroccan hospitality. I couldn't refuse. Minutes later, I was alone. I trudged up the hill with a bucket of white paint, the silence roaring in my ears. The darih was a wreck. Inside, it was dim, smelling of old wax and despair. The walls were smeared not just with decay, but with ancient layers of red henna, plastered handprints, and scattered tangles of hair. Veins of black soot from old candles crawled up the walls. The Hajj had followed me and started cleaning it, picking up the foul remnants, muttering angrily, "Savages. They don't let the dead rest." I started painting. The rhythmic swish, swish of the roller became a heartbeat. But a strange prickling sensation crawled up my spine. I turned. Whispering. She was just there. Sitting on the stone doorstep, a woman wrapped in a shabby, faded purple hike. A veil covered her face. She hadn't been there a second ago. The world outside was empty, a barren plain stretching forever, yet this woman had materialized from the silence. My blood went cold. I choked out, "Be, in the name of God. Who are you?" "Peace first," she rasped, her voice like grinding stones. "The saint's peace is first." Her eyes, fixed on me, were unnervingly still. "Don't stop. Paint, you are doing a noble thing." This place was weeping for care. Then she pointed a skeletal finger. "Look. My ewe." A creature hobbled into view. A ewe, the color of sickly yellow sand, with pitch black legs. But its front leg was broken, mangled, twisted backwards. It had a frayed rope around its neck. It lifted its head and stared at me with unblinking, human-like judgment. "Hanina. Lift your head." The woman cackled into the twilight. Let the painter see you. Sharp inhale that cackle. It seared into my eardrums. It wasn't a sound of this world. Heavy breathing. I tried to reason with myself. Just a beggar woman. A crazy hermit. I turned my back and kept painting, faster now. Why do you visit this tomb every day? I asked, not looking at her. A long silence. Then, a sigh that rattled with centuries of dust. The saint, Sidi Abed, watches over the lost. He is warm in his grave. He still weds lovers and calms fires. I gave him a vow. And this ewe she refuses to graze anywhere but this cursed ground. The saint knows all our secrets. She started speaking of a legend, a love story as old as the dunes. She spoke of Lala Ika el Baraya, the saint of the sea from my own hometown of Azamor. A princess who drowned in the river, chasing a holy man from Iraq, a man named Muli Bouchib. She narrated the tragedy with a raw, bleeding intimacy, as if she had been there, holding Ika's hand when the boat capsized. How do you know these details? I whispered, finally turning. She was standing now, leaning on a gnarled stick. She wiped her mouth with her sleeve. How do the witnesses of history not know? She hissed. I was there. Suddenly, she hobbled away down the hill. The limping you followed. I blinked. Pause in the time it takes to breathe, they had vanished. Not walked to the horizon, vanished. The open, wide plain below me was completely, utterly empty. No limp. No sound. Just the screaming silence of the dusk. It was physically impossible. Panic finally hooked its claws into me. I scrambled to finish the painting. As I stepped outside to do the final wall, I froze. A jet black cat sat by a rock, its fur a patch of solid darkness against the gray stone. It wasn't moving. Just staring. SHH. Go. I hissed. It didn't flinch. Enraged, fueled by a primal terror, I grabbed a rock. I didn't want to hit it. I just wanted to break that terrible stare. Don't. The voice came from my right. I spun. An old man, majestic and terrifyingly calm, was climbing the hill. He wore a pristine white jalaba, identical in stature to the Hajj, yet emanating a cold, metallic authority. He was smiling, but it didn't reach his eyes. Good, the old man said, nodding at the rock I dropped. That cat is a creature of God, just like you. He sat heavily on a stone, closed his eyes, and breathed deeply. I was shaking, trying to pack my gear. You finish your work? He asked, eyes still shut. Why, yes. Then, he started gurgling, a deep, intestinal, stomach-churning sound. Not a belch. A boiling. A sound from the grave. Gurgling sound. Q. The Hajj is going to pay you, the old man stated, his eyes snapping open, pinning me like a butterfly to a board. And no, sir. The Hajj is generous, but... Listen to me, boy. The air turned to ice. If you take one single rial from the Hajj for this holy work, I will come to you tonight. I will tear the bones out of your throat with these trembling hands. He held up his hands. They were perfectly, deathly still. He wasn't bluffing. I knew it in my soul. Okay. I won't take a cent. Then the conversation shifted into pure nightmare. The old man tilted his head. How is Halima? My heart stopped. Am my mother? Your mother, Halima. The one who married Bubker. The one who gave birth to you, Imad. The one with the bone sickness. Tell her to rub her knees with Zayt al-Oud and recite the names. He knew my name, my father's name, my mother's medical condition that you couldn't possibly guess. I felt the world tilt. I grabbed my tools and fled down that hill so fast I thought my lungs would bleed. Heavy breathing. I burst into the Hajj's farmhouse. The Hajj was stumbling out, rubbing his eyes. Imad. Forgive me. A deep, unnatural sleep fell upon me the moment I got back. I've never slept like that. Did you finish? Don't pay me, I gasped. I swear by God, don't give me a single coin. The debt is with God. The Hajj looked at my horrified face. As we drove into the black desert night, I stared at the dark silhouette of the darih. I told him everything. The woman. The you. The threat. The intimate knowledge of my mother. The car swerved to a stop. You saw the woman, the Hajj whispered, his face pale in the dashboard lights. The one with the limping you. Yes. She told me the story of Ika. The Hajj was trembling. Imad, that woman came to my door once. She told me one of my pregnant cows had a hidden rot. She saved my herd. Afka later told me, he told me she isn't human. She is a jinn, Imad. A jinniyah. A guardian of the saints' ground. You spoke to the unseen. Whispering. And the tall old man in white, I asked, my mouth dry as tomb dust. The Hajj made the sign of the hand of Fatima. A protector, he said. Maybe the saint himself, testing your soul's intent. You see, my boy, you painted over the handprints of those who came begging for dark magic. You were cleaning a spiritual crime scene. And the invisible world, it was watching you. Silence. A deep breath. I didn't sleep that night. I don't sleep many nights since then. I've never taken a job near a tomb again. The white paint felt like a baptism, but that hill was a crossroads. I went there a painter, a skeptic. I came back a man who knows that the soil of my country, the unforgiving wasteland, is crowded not just with the dead, but with the owners of the dead. Pause. Sometimes, when I close my eyes, I hear the grinding of that ew's broken leg on the stones. And the old man's stomach, boiling in the twilight. Don't take what isn't yours. And never, ever trust the silence before sunset in the Moroccan wilderness.